Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. I have a grave topic to discuss with you all this evening.
His creepy eyes.
Fake Benchmades, not my doll eyes. Tonight, we've got the Crooked River, and we have the fake. Help us decide which one's real. After the knife drop.
All right.
Okay,
Well,
Ooh!
Ooh.
Almost gave it away
Do you want to
there.
start it over?
Yeah, start it over.
I thought it was on the bottom.
Do
Sorry.
we want to
that's
say
all
the
right.
first
I
thing
probably
that's
should.
kind of off about the box?
This nappy ass shiny box.
Is that it doesn't look like wood?
Well, and it's very flimsy, and it's very shiny, which
why are
is
kind
not
of
what
This
it's
is
supposed
older,
to be.
Why is that?
One
Why is that a
thing.
Yeah. And then
Bag's
this
the
is,
same. Well, no, it's
It's missing
different.
the little-
It's stretchy.
And the M is
it's-
not quite right on it.
Yeah, it's real stretchy.
Yeah, it shouldn't be stretchy.
that made out of sock
should be
material?
that should be folded differently.
I feel like I could put this on my foot.
Ooh.
Here we go. Look at that.
It actually looks pretty good.
Well, you gotta know what you're looking for.
This one's going to be hard if you didn't have one to compare
If
against.
you didn't have one to
Are
compare it
these-
to,
Is the handle bigger?
I don't
The
think
handle's
so.
big. Isn't the handle
it
bigger?
really?
It's longer.
You're shitting me.
Is it?
No, they're the same. It's yeah, they're the same.
Is the blade longer on this one?
I mean,
On the
they
rear?
look,
Look
they
a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at that.
different size-wise, though.
Do we have a mic that'll do that size?
So
I got a mic right here.
well here.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
let's
yeah.
use the
So
fucking
you can
calibrated
see
mic.
the blade on the real one is
My
longer.
something's different.
Yeah, something's
Yeah.
off there for sure.
The blade on the real one is longer, and the look at the thumb stud.
Grind.
If you look over the top, the
Yeah.
thumb stud is farther back on the fake, so it's
Interesting.
back farther closer to the handle. And quite obviously the colors are off. These are supposed to be gray, even though the gray's been discontinued. I bought this a long time ago. We just haven't had Crooked Rivers in stock.
They did it backwards, too.
Are you sure, or did I do it
no,
backwards?
this is right side. This is
Oh
how
no,
it's
no,
supposed to
I had this one apart.
be. This is backwards. Okay,
Okay,
then you
so
did
that's
it
on me
backwards.
because I Rockwelled this blade, so I put it back together backwards.
There's only a couple of them that they do this backwards.
Because
I know that.
Cryptilians have the pivot on the front, don't
Yes.
they? Yeah,
most
I think that's
of them,
why I did
most
it.
of them do, but like
Um, Alistair might know this. Does Benchmade do a gunmetal color?
As far as like a Cerakote or something like that?
Yeah.
Not really, no.
Only on their blades. I mean,
Yeah, they do like gray blades.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure.
So if you're picking up a Benchmade knife and it has a gunmetal grade bolster of some sort, something might
Fake.
be up.
This,
Yeah.
It should be magnesium, which
Yeah.
is when Lori has done custom Cerakote on some bolsters, and she uses the Cerakote color magnesium, and it's she matched it almost perfectly.
Okay, so you're looking for a lighter kind of magnesium gray on
You're looking
any
for-
hardware and bolster, if it's going to be that kind of color.
Yeah, and I mean, right off the bat, the marking is off. The grind isn't high enough on this one.
It's
The-
not
that-
stonewash all the way through.
Yeah,
the grind
that's-
is polished, like they stonewashed it, heat treated it, and then they decided to put the grind on.
Well, they would have done initial grinds, stonewash. They would have done initial grinds, then they would have cleaned it up, then they would have done a stonewash, then they would have done final grinds. Because you got to grind everything twice, right?
yeah, it's a bent split arrow.
But
Real close though.
also that thumb stud's way off.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
That thumb stud, there's no
The
way.
color's off on
yeah.
the orange.
The placement of the S30 is off. Also, the S30 is not
Yeah,
in
the font
italics,
is-
where it
yeah.
should be in italics, and it should be smaller, like
So
on
on
this
the
one.
real knives, they always do the steel and italics?
Yes.
Okay, so
Everyone I've ever found. Everyone I've ever found is. Benchmade doesn't use Arial. They use a font that is super, super close to Arial.
but they had to make their own.
They probably did. So I imagine most Chinese makers will use Arial. Also, the liners should look stonewashed on this one and look polished on this
Yeah, they
one.
do.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Very polished.
And that clip's a little off, but I mean, I don't know if I would even pick that out.
I mean, it's way more bent on this one.
It just looks like it's been used and bent back in shape a few times.
But that smaller grind and that non-stonewashed grind is a dead giveaway.
So non-italic font for the steel, incorrect color for the bolster, which is a
Yeah.
good thing to watch out for,
Yeah.
and the polished grind instead of stonewash all the way through.
Yeah.
Okay, do we want to take one side off and see what it looks like inside?
Do we want to dismantle one of these?
Let's see here.
Do we want to talk Rockwell before or after?
Oh, well.
There's gonna be some
Maybe
Rockwell
during.
marks on the pivot of this one, I think, if I remember correctly.
Besides, I mean, it doesn't look too fake. Like if I saw it at a gun
That looks
show
real fake.
without you guys, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's. I mean, honestly, if I saw one at a pawn shop or something, I would probably, just kind of be like, oh, look there.
Yeah, you wouldn't even really think about it. It's fairly well done fake.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's well done in the looks department.
Yeah.
We'll get
performance-wise,
to
would
the
be.
performance
Ooh,
wise.
those screws are bad though.
What's wrong with them?
They're Chinese for sure.
What are they?
Nationalist.
Almost stripping out, or?
No, they're just the size and the thread print on them.
Oh yeah, the heads look too big.
I need to tap.
Yeah. Tip, tip, tip.
I need to tap.
Tip, tip, tip.
Hit it with a knife. There you go.
Ryan,
We can edit some of this out.
I have a bunch over there.
I mean, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna do speed up.
Okay.
It's not coming out.
Is it because the divots in the way? Or the axis?
No, the these that go through the
That's assuming it goes
standoffs.
back together the same way.
What?
It might be different internally.
Well, from what we could tell without dismantling it, it is very, very similar.
I can't imagine it'd be that different.
Backspacer was like, it's like usually they chimp out on the back, keep out on the backspacer.
So that's definitely different.
What is that?
Just the pin or the screw that holds on the bolster,
Okay.
which is on here, but I know that it's just better done.
It's also not a countersink, isn't it? Sweet.
All right.
You got it on our sock.
I know. Wait.
Good, I'm not the only one that's done that.
That was good beer too. Woo, woo, woo. I need way more kicktails than that.
Yeah, you do.
Here, let me roll with
That
that.
was a lot of beer.
Okay. Well, I'm really sorry, guys.
It's all right. I'll just go. Here. Oh, yeah.
Birch.
We're gonna call this the codeine or Mike?
Oh, yeah, huh? You spilled more than I did.
Yeah, you did.
You just took a crown from me, buddy.
Okay, there we go. And I'll.
Plus, I spilled whiskey. Mine evaporates a lot faster.
Yours is so clean.
And not quite as sticky as yours.
Right, and then I'm gonna spray it on the table.
This is gonna be a weird cut. And that's it.
Yeah.
Man, those paper towel rolls make the best fucking cat toys. You whack them in the head, and it doesn't hurt them. They get all fucking angry. You're in the weight, and then you bite them, but it's all over their face.
Jesus Christ.
Love fucking hitting the cat with the fucking paper towel rolls.
No, I just been like all jittery today, all day.
Oh, like happy.
Still that first day nerves.
First. Well, I mean, nothing against y'all, right? I'm just like, I haven't had a new job in almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had this job for 9 years.
Oh, 3 or 4.
You had this one since
2018.
well, this November will be 3 years.
Shit. Hey, went from $20,000 to $250,000 in 3 years. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
linear.
Everybody get back into places.
Be real quick.
Okay.
All right, here. Okay.
Do you want me to pull this side off so we can compare to that?
Yeah, if you want.
Here, let's take that real quick. Bring this up.
What we're gonna do is just fast forward throw this, and then
Yeah,
there's gonna be the Bill Spirit and waking up, and then we take it apart.
Yeah, these are just stuck in there.
Tight.
Like Tiger.
Man, I'm just pounding these beers. That's fucking gone already.
Already done with that one?
Crazy.
Damn.
Got it.
Lush.
Don't use so much Loctite.
Oh.
Yeah, button head screw. Yeah.
These probably. So these are cut so that they stay and they don't spin, whereas these ones are not. These will spin. They got a little flat spot.
But I mean, I'm impressed even with like they even got the holes and the liners pretty
Yeah.
correct. It looks like, but that countersink is a dead giveaway if you get the chance to disassemble it. But if you're just looking online, you're gonna have to stick with the non-italicized font, the difference in the grind.
You can swap part. Well, it doesn't really match
Oh, it
up
doesn't
very
quite
well.
line up. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Look at that.
and these
Bolsters
are
a little bit
not.
off.
So we don't.
So can we go the
They
other
don't
way
make
around?
the G10 ones anymore, or the G10 ones anymore. So I don't know if they're polished on the inside.
Yeah.
But these, you can see the machine marks on the wood.
Look at that. That is that's pretty close.
It's a little over.
Yeah,
Not
it's,
bad.
it's a little proud here on the top, but it's pretty damn close. I'm surprised.
Maybe that's where they save their money, is the heat treating the blade.
Could be. Oh yeah, should we talk about heat treat?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
let's
should.
get it
What
out
do
a
we
little
got?
bit.
All right, there it is. 54, 54, 53.
All of these are testing out that.
And Rich, really, after I did the Microtech today, I thought, man, these are all coming up the same. I want to make sure I'm not doing something wrong. So I went and got a Mac, and Rockwell the Mac, and it is dead on. It is at 59 for N690. So I know, and I did it 3 times, so I know that our Rockwell is correct. So these are all Rockwell low.
So that's
I'm
off.
sure.
Look at that.
Oh wow, yeah, that is.
Oh,
The handle's
Jesus,
a little
yeah.
smaller.
It's all tilted from the
Oh yeah,
the screw holes
Yeah.
between here and here. You couldn't get your clip in, so you can't swap them.
So it's close, but
Not
it's almost
close
like
enough.
someone engineered it from like a...
Picture?
No, from a real one, but they like tweaked it to fit on their machines better.
Well, and also the axis lock's a little different. This one's domed, whereas that one looks like a straight out
Yeah.
cylinder cut.
Interesting.
Well, I guess consumer advice is
Don't buy a fake.
I mean, you can, but you know, what are you spending the money on? You're not getting, you know, the reason a knife is generally so expensive is, you know, most of it's the steel and the quality that goes into it.
and
so-
don't get ripped off at a swap meet. You know, if it's got a shiny grind or it's not using magnesium, so a lighter gray coating on the bolsters or other parts, then you've got two huge indicators there that probably not a good way to go.
Yeah, yeah, and the well, I mean, you can kind of see here too the difference in the Benchmade logo. It's darker and bigger on the fake because they had more space because their grind isn't tall enough.
I feel like that's harder to pick out though than the steel.
I do
You
too.
know what I mean?
I feel like that's even harder to pick out than that thumb stud's a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't get a T6 down there and take that thumb stud off,
Then
then
there you
it's
go.
obviously
yeah.
a
There you
fake.
go.
Oh, and then non-italicized font
Yeah.
for the steel on the
that's easy to pick out.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen that same font on a million different
Yeah.
counterfeit Benchmades.
Well, I guess on that non-bombshell,
Buy from an authorized dealer.
Back to 10.
Authorized dealer.
back to 10.
Amazon is not an authorized dealer.
No, they're not.